Hello, I'm back again with another Minecraft terrain mod, or technically speaking, a data pack. There are a lot of terrain mods that try to improve Minecraft. I've tried a lot of them myself, stuff that makes the world bigger, more realistic, more detailed, and most of them follow the same idea, just push everything further. But this one doesn't just feel bigger, it feels completely different. This is JJ Thunder to the max. Before I get into it though, I want to put into perspective first because there are already a lot of terrain mods that completely changes how Minecraft looks. This is vanilla Minecraft. Simple, it works, easy to play, nothing too crazy. You kinda just know what to expect wherever you go. Then, you've got something like Lithosphere, which tries to make the world feel more natural with smoother terrain, better looking mountains, and rivers that actually carve through the land. It still feels like Minecraft, just more grounded. Then, you move up to Tectonic. Now things starts getting bigger. Mountains are taller, the terrain is more dramatic, it's pushing scale more. Still playable, but you definitely want a higher render distance to actually see it properly, otherwise you kinda miss the point of the mod. Then, you've got a mod like Epic Terrain, which leads more into realism. It reshapes everything so it looks more like real geography. Smoother landscapes, more natural looking mountains, longer rivers, coastline that actually makes sense. You can actually tell it's trying to simulate how real terrain forms. And then, there's Big Globe, which is probably the closest comparison to JJ Thunder, but it goes in a different direction. It actually has a slightly higher world height at around 2048 blocks, but it doesn't just dump all that space into the terrain. It spreads it around between the surface, caves, and even things like floating islands. So yeah, Big Globe is technically taller, but it spreads that height across everything. JJ Thunder, on the other hand, puts almost all of that height into the land itself, so Big Globe feels bigger overall, but JJ Thunder feels way bigger when you're actually in it. But even with all of this, they still feel like Minecraft terrain just pushed further. Besides, JJ Thunder to the max, of course. Like, it's literally just asking how big can we make this before it breaks Minecraft. I'm at Y level 1000 right now, which sounds high, but if you look around, this is basically nothing. I thought I was already high up until I turned around and saw how much higher everything goes. The world goes from -64 all the way up to 2032, and it actually uses all of that. You've got deep oceans, then plains, then hills, then mountains, and then peaks that go almost all the way up, and the transitions between them actually feel smooth instead of forced. And when you're flying through it, you don't really notice where one biome ends and another begins. It just blends together into one massive landmass. With Big Globe, it still feels like a huge game world with a lot of system and features stacked together. With JJ Thunder, it just feels like a world that already exists and you're kinda just drop into it. And just to see how big this world actually is, I tried climbing one of the mountains. And yeah, it took way longer than I expected. You think you're close to the top, then you realize you're not even halfway. Honestly, I kinda wanna try climbing the highest point in this world in hardcore. No cheats or anything, so if you wanna see that, let me know in the comments. Now, obviously this kind of scale comes with problems. Chunk loading is really slow. Even just flying around, trying to load things, it takes time. And sometimes you're just staring at an empty terrain waiting for it to generate. You can pre-generate chunks with something like Chunky, but even that can take hours, sometimes even a full day depending on how much you're generating. And if you're doing that, you should probably use something like C2ME to speed it up a bit. Actually, playing in this world feels different too. Everything is far apart, so you'll be running a lot, way more than normal Minecraft. And after a while you realize you probably need some kind of transport mod or it just gets tedious. There's also a ton of elevation, so you're constantly going up and down, climbing hills, climbing mountains, dropping into valleys, and yeah, your spacebar is definitely gonna feel it, so auto jump honestly helps more than you'd think. The caves are pretty crazy too. Near the surface, they're small and normal, but the deeper you go, the bigger they get, until they turn into these massive underground spaces. I think it's called the Underlands and it looks amazing. So it's not just the surface that's huge, it's literally everything. And yeah, I don't really think this is meant for normal survival. You can play it, but it still feels more like something you explore rather than something you grind on. Just flying around and looking at everything is already enough. And just to make it feel less empty, I also added some creature mods from the last video, mods like Alex Mobs, Living Things, and Hybrid Aquatic, just so there's actually life while exploring. At the end of the day, most terrain mods change how Minecraft looks. This one changes how it feels. It's not perfect, it's heavy, it takes time to set up, and it's not the easiest thing to run. But if you get it working, it's honestly worth it and insane.